Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So guys, now this is the second installment in what is now a two-part narrative. It might well spill over into three parts, but at the moment it's a two-part narrative of the goings on, the beef between the Daura family and Aisha Buhari, the First Lady of Nigeria. So I've done a first video on this, so please go watch that and then watch this as well in tandem so you can get a fuller picture of what is exactly going on. So let me kick off with the headline for this one. Aisha Buhari almost attacked me, Daura's daughter alleges. So that's the headline. Aisha Buhari almost attacked me, Daura's daughter alleges. So now let's find out exactly what this person is saying. Fatima, daughter of Daura, President Muhammadu Buhari's nephew, has accused the First Lady Aisha of almost physically attacking her inside Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. The lady made the allegation whilst commenting on a video where Mrs. Buhari was seen complaining about being denied access to her residence, according to reports. Fatima said she recorded the video as proof that Buhari's wife assaulted her. She said, "If anyone reasons well, he or she will understand that it is not possible to say that the wife of the president was denied access to her apartment, but let me give a context. The apartment in question is called the Glass House. When President Buhari got into office, he gave it to my father, Daura. You all know that they are friends and are related. More so, they grew up together. Our dad stayed there for 3 years until the president's son, Yusuf, had an accident and went to Germany for treatment. When Yusuf returned, the president told our dad to move out of that apartment to an even bigger one in the villa that his son was going to stay and be treated there. On that day I filmed the video, my mom and dad were not around. So my dad instructed I and my elder sister to move our belongings to the new apartment. All of a sudden, as we were busy packing our belongings, we heard noise from outside. On getting there, we realized it was the wife of the president. When she came, the door was locked and she picked a metal chair and broke the door. My sister, who went outside, was almost hit by the chair. She threw the chair, which broke through the door and almost hit my sister. I was so shocked and afraid of getting outside because the First Lady was shouting and cursing and saying we should move out of that apartment. She had already said a lot of things depicting that she was being suppressed. I recorded the incident to show our parents and the security so that they will know the truth before anything happens. There are even other clips that have not been released. She was insulting the security personnel and drove them away. So now this is now the goings on. This is now the underbelly of the Aso Rock Villa. This is now really what is exactly going on within the Nigerian state. So apparently and allegedly, and it's not even alleged anymore because it is now coming from the horse's mouth, the Buhari regime have moved in all of their relatives into Aso Rock so that they are now surrounded completely by the singularity of their own voice, which is the Fulani voice. So you can then now not wonder any further why Nigeria is so lopsided and this regime is so biased. So every appointment, of course, that you hear being made by the Buhari regime is usually to a northerner, but then of course this now gives reason to that bewilderment that why can't this be or how can this be the case. So this of course will be the case when the only voice that this guy hears is the voice of his own. So he surrounds himself with this Daura character and all of his family, by the way. So it's not just Daura, but all of the Daura family are all living in Aso Rock. And Abakwari, of course, is probably got an apartment there as well because he has the same relationship as Daura with Malam Buhari. So now, if he has Malam Daura standing to his left and Malam Kwari standing to his right, what other voice then is going to break through? Because he's only got 2 ears, hasn't he? So if one is whispering to his left ears and the other one is whispering to his right ears and they're all saying the same thing, which is Fulani, 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 how then is he then able to hear other voices in a country that has in excess of 250 ethnicity. So this is now the full explanation of exactly what is going on and why that country is in that state, and why all these lopsided appointments that we see on a regular basis take place. Because of course the only language that is being spoken and the only language that this particular regime is geared towards and is geared for is Fulani. So you now see now this Fulanization at work and how it works. So this is now Fulanization now that you are seeing now, because you've heard that term severally and you've always wondered how to put it within context. So this is now the context of it, with this guy now moving not just his nephew, but all of that nephew's family into the apartment right outside the presidential apartment. And I'm sure the one at the back as well is filled with the Kwari family. So then how is then Akintunde or Adebayo or Okechukwu then able to speak to this guy who is meant to have leadership and authority over 250 ethnicity, when the only voice that are surrounding him are the Fulani voices? So this is now really the proof of what we have been anticipating and speculating on with regards to these people, and it is coming directly from the source. Conversations in the comment section. The wind has blown and we have seen whatever it is that we need to see. So now come tell me now what your thoughts are about this rather intriguing goings on within Aso Rock. The First Lady is fighting back, and by the way, the fight that Aisha Buhari is fighting is not for herself, but she's actually fighting for Nigeria, because she doesn't really believe in this like cabal cozy arrangement that they have, because she's of the view that, look, all of these people made this change and forced the effect of it. So why should this 2, 3, 4, no more than 5 people then surround you, and then you only listen to their voices for 4 solid years, and now that you're coming back for another 4 years, you listen to the same set of voices again? So this is really the argument that Aisha Buhari is having with these people. So she's not actually fighting for herself, she is actually fighting this, and this is just my personal view now, and you can have your say of course in the comment section as well. But it is my speculation that the real gripe that Aisha Buhari has with these people is down to the fact that they are stifling the Malam Buhari regime, and they are completely surrounding Malam Buhari to the point that he's not able to hear any other voice outside of their voice. And by the time that any other voice does then break through, the Malam Buhari mind, which is a very simple mind, you have to understand that Malam Buhari is a very simple-minded kind of person. And I'm saying simple not as a pejorative term, I'm actually using it as a descriptive. Malam Buhari is a very unsophisticated and a very simple guy mentally. He is not an intellectual. Nobody can accuse Malam Buhari of being an intellectual, and he himself has not positioned himself as being an intellectual. He's a very simple man who was a military man and who went through the barracks to then through coup plotting find himself in the position that he has now found himself in the public consciousness of the Nigerian state. So he's not a man of learning, he's not a man of deep thought, but is a man of two things, of religion and ethnicity. So religion and ethnicity, of course, which are the things that particularly guides the Buhari mind, are the things that these elements, these quarries and these Dauras are of course now using to manipulate him within that Aso Rock structure. We all know this. I mean, this is just, I mean, there's even no real disputing that, because of course Malam Buhari, as I said, is a simple man and his fears are to religion and ethnicity, and this of course is the language of these people that he surrounds himself with. So they would have imbued in him a phobia of anything that is outside of that ethnicity and religion. So by the time then that other voice that is different from theirs breaks through, Malam Buhari's simple mind would have been so corrupted that he would not pay any heed to that other voice that is coming through, because he is now being cultivated and maneuvered and trained to view that other voice with suspicion. This is my speculation on how the workings of that space is, and this really my speculation is predicated upon what I have always thought about Malam Buhari, and more so now this little now snippet of information information coming out of the now inner sanctuary of Aso Rock itself. So the information cannot be more credible. Aisha Buhari herself has spoken, and we have seen video captures of that. In fact, her speaking is on my channel, so the video capture of that is on my channel. And this girl now that is fighting her, this Fatima girl that is still faceless, she's now gone out in the public space to have her say as well. So now we have it from very credible sources. The president's wife herself, Malam Buhari's wife herself, and of course this other person who is the daughter of the lead cabal member that are the puppet masters of Buhari. So these are the people yanking his chains and pulling his mouth to speak and the hands to move, etc. So the cabals that are manipulating him, we've heard from the daughter and we've heard from the president's wife as well. So now we now have a real insight into how the Nigerian state is being run. Conversations in the comment section, the cabals are coming and they are riding with the hounds of hell. So come tell me what your thoughts are about this rather intriguing little snippet that we've just gotten out of Aso Rock. But before you come share those thoughts, click on the red subscribe button so it turns grey. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new vid. Then come tell me what you are making of our palace intrigues in the Aso Rock villa in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, join you in the comment section, but here I say peace.